Morning, everyone.
Good morning,
Good
Rabbi.
morning.
We're learning Mishna Rosh Hashanah, Parak Beis, Chapter 2, Mishnah Beis, and Gimel today, 2 and 3. Barishayna Hayu Masi and Masuais. We mentioned in previous Mishnayos that when Bezdin would declare Rosh Chodesh, they would send out messengers to people who were far away from Yerushalayim to notify them. But actually, that was not the original way of doing it. Barishayna originally Hayu Masi and Masuais. They used to light torches. They had this relay of torch signals in order to notify people. And the benefit of doing that is that it was a lot cheaper doing that than having to send messengers. You send messengers to travel, to schlep. There's an expense. Bezdin has an expense to pay them for that and to take it and to cover the costs of what they need to go. In this way, it was done quickly and easily, and there was no big expense for Bezdin. That was the benefit of doing that. Now, let me read to you from the bottom here to understand what was going on. And that is, if the Beis Din declared the 30th day to be Rosh Chodesh, day 30 was Rosh Chodesh, they would signal with the torches that night, immediately after Rosh Chodesh, to spread the word. Meaning, they have to come on day 30. On day 30, it was established that this day was Rosh Chodesh. It's really the first day of the month. Now, and the torches would be used at night, right? Use torches by day ain't going to get you too far. That means the following night is when they would do this whole torch system. So if the following night, if the night after the 30th, right, people would be seeing the signals of the torches, then they would know that the 30th day has been declared as Rosh Chodesh. If it comes out that Rosh Chodesh was not declared on day 30, but on day 31, they did not do this process. There was no need to. People were keeping track. It's not like people weren't keeping track. They understood what was day 30 and day 30, day 31 from the last time. And once there was no signal on the night after the 30th, then they knew that Rosh Chodesh was going to be the next day, because that's what automatically happens, really. If day 30 isn't declared as Rosh Chodesh, day 31 is going to be Rosh Chodesh. Okay? So if it came out, if they did not declare the 30th day to be Rosh Chodesh, in which case it's automatically deferred to the next day, day 31, they would not signal with torches at any time. The people would realize from the absence of the torches that Rosh Chodesh is on the 31st day. That's very important to know, because in the next part of the Mishnah, the Shakil Kalu HaKusim, but once the Kusim started making problems, they disrupted the process. Hiskinu Shu Shluchin Yoitzin. That is when they instituted, we're sending out messengers. Basically, the Kusim were a group of people that converted to Yiddishkeit. They converted to Judaism. The legitimacy of their conversion is disputed in the Gemara. And at the end of the day, they acted, as I write down here, they act with great hostility towards the mainstream Jewish community. So, as they bring down here again in the notes from the Bartanura, it once happened that when the Beis Din did not determine the 30th day to be Rosh Chodesh, and so did not use the torches, guess what the Kusim did? The Kuthians shown their torches to trick the people into thinking that the 30th was indeed Rosh Chodesh. So, because it says like it once happened, it sounds like once it happened, that was the end. That was the end. And therefore, that's when they decided to send out messengers. And again, they bring that here in the notes. These messengers usually carried a document from the Beis Din that was recognized by the Jews of the distant communities to be authentic. Meaning, if the Kuthians are making problems, maybe they're going to send their messengers. And how are you supposed to know who's legit, who's not? And the answer is that it brings down here from the Meiri, commentary of the Meiri, the messengers usually carried a document from Beis Din that is recognized to be authentic, to know that these were the messengers of the Beis Din in the Beis Din in Yerushalayim. Okay, next, Mishnah Gimel. But even though that's that system had stopped, we're still just going to discuss that system. How did they light the torches? Now here is talking about what exactly they did to light the torches. What was the procedure with the torches? They brought these tall poles made out of cedar wood. Cedar wood does not burn up quickly. And therefore, when you lit the fire at the end of it, the wood itself didn't burn so fast. So, klunsai shel erez aruchin, these long, tall poles of cedar wood, vikanim, and reeds. The Atse Shemen. They're literally translated. Atse Shemen means wood of oil wood. I always thought that was olive wood, but it's not. They say here on the bottom it's balsam wood. Okay. Uno Oiresh Pishtin and flax combings. Meaning after they combed out the flax, they had these pieces.
Mm-hmm.
They brought them together, the karach b'mashicha, and wrapped them with a string at the top. The Shahar, they went to the top of the mountain. If you're wondering which mountain, that's tomorrow's Mishnah. Umatis bohen es ha'ur, and they would light a fire at the top, and these materials would burn. Then what did he do? Umaylech umevi. He went front and back, umayla umayrid, and up and down. Front, back, and up and down is how he waved the torch. Till he sees his friend doing the same thing on the next mountain. And the same thing for the third mountain. So mountain number one, he did the signal. He was waving it front, back, down, and up until he saw his friend on the next mountain was part of the relay doing the same thing. And then he would stop. And the second guy would then do it until he saw the third guy doing it, and so on. So tomorrow's Mishnah will be like exactly, where they did this. Now, why did they go in the order of front, back, up, down? Like, if you were doing, you would just like wave it, right? You would just wave it. So they explain here from the Taisus Yantif, in order that the person on the next mountaintop will not mistake the waving torch for a shooting star.
Oh, okay.
Which moves either vertically or horizontally, but not both. They wave the torch both ways.
Okay.
Like, don't get confused that maybe it's a star, shooting star.
Yeah.
Therefore, both ways is what made sure the next person knew it was not a shooting star. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.